I know. We started with Buffy screaming there.
She wanted to do the intro.
Yeah, she was in. Hi everyone. Can you believe we're here again? I know Danny can't believe it. 2
2
weeks
weeks
in a
in a
row.
row.
I can't believe it either. Cycle, are you still here?
Cycle.
We were
I mean,
curious.
Harvey.
Right. Harvey, who cycle? How's that library card coming along?
Wow. We don't let anything go here.
No, including Superman and Schitt's Creek. James, we can give you an update.
There's
No.
no update.
Yep. Hi, Chris. How's it going, everybody? So, shall we start this reading update off with Elon complimenting your shirt?
Oh,
It is a
thank
cool
you,
shirt.
Elon. I'd like to
Yeah.
say I like your shirt. You look very like I just came from work.
I
But
did
I
wear this at
dress
work.
nice to work.
I wore this to work, and then I went on a walk, and then I sat on the couch because I was really hot and uncomfortable. And then
Yeah,
I
I get it.
came in here. Yeah.
I get
So,
it.
and never Elon, of course. Well, I'm glad to be here for the indie show. Thanks, Gore.
Score. You trouble starter.
Speaking of indie
Uh-oh.
show, I want to right off the bat plug something that's happening on this channel tomorrow. Can you
Oh my,
believe it? 2 days in a row?
what's happening here? Breaking news.
Breaking news. Gore may be interested. I don't know. Maybe some of you guys will. Cycle would be if he was still around. I don't know if he is. Cycle. Harvey. What's going on?
Harvey?
Um, also, because I was informed this is happening just a little bit ago. So there will be a thumbnail up. Reed has to make it. Reed and I are going to do a live show tomorrow. Same time as now. So 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 Central. Mary, you are invited if you are free and interested.
Oh.
So Mary may not be there. I don't know. We can't make commit on the spot. I'm just giving her an invite.
What's this about?
We will be roasting the Eisners. It's going to be a roast of the Eisners. We're pretty stoked about it. Yeah.
Oh, this ought to be a good one.
Yeah.
And Cycle should be there because I bet you he has similar thoughts.
It's not an Eisner roast if Cycle isn't there. So Cycle, I hope you show up.
Oh my goodness.
People are fighting over library cards still. It'll never end. But yeah, so that's gonna be tomorrow. I'll mention again later. But we're stoked for it. I also want to start off. Well, I'm going to say start off a lot because I've started off.
You have more news? What is
I have more news. Well, we checked the mail when we got home from our walk.
I know.
And I was like, I didn't order anything from Midtown Comics. I haven't ordered a comic in ages, some may say. I was like, what is this? And I looked at Reed and he's like, I don't know what it is. And I was like, this smells of Mary. I feel like there could be Mary involved.
Mm-hmm.
And then I opened it up and it was funny. I know you can go to Midtown in real life. Have you ordered online from them?
Yes, I order from online a lot.
Okay.
I would say I have ordered a lot.
I assume this is a thing they do that I didn't know they did, where they put the comic in backwards.
Oh, yeah.
So when you pull it out, it's the back of the comic. So I was like, what is this Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles book she sent me? I'm so confused. And I was like, oh, the back. Okay. So flip them around and oh my gosh, look at you being the best friend ever.
You have to finish this series.
I'm so excited. So you got the 4 that Hoopla doesn't have, right? You got the 5 that they took 400 years to put up, but then you got the 6, which may never come.
So listen, this is how important it is for me that you finish the series.
I appreciate that and you so much. Thank you for this. This is
you
such
are welcome.
An unexpected gift. I'm very excited for it.
I was like, what? I ordered those like normally they ship so fast. Oh, but they must have come from like another warehouse. But it took like 2 weeks. I'm like, when are they going to get there?
Come on. I love that. And as we always talk about, these covers are so nice.
Yeah.
I just love them. Having them in real life too makes me be like, yeah, one day I want to have all of them. Absolutely.
I can't wait for you to read the last issue.
I think at this point it's been a bit. I need to just reread the first 3.
Yeah, they're so quick, right? So
I definitely want to do that. So
Yeah.
by next show,
Oh.
whenever that may be, I'm doing it. It's happening.
Yes.
It's happening.
Yes.
Very excited. Hey, hi Hayden.
Hi, Hayden.
You're so nice, Hayden. How are you doing, Hayden? Bring your marshmallows. Yeah, for roasting. Also, I have so much to read. That's understandable completely. Well, both are, but
yeah, it's stressful when you take too much out from the library and then they're staring at you. Your books on your shelves are staring at you.
I have
don't
some
know.
right now.
Do you?
I won't lie, I got some. James orders from Midtown Comics all the time. I love and hate how they flip the cover upside down. Yeah, I was just like, does that really do anything? I guess if something scratches the cover or something.
I guess, right?
I guess.
You know what I noticed that sometimes I'll order and then depending on when I'll pick it up at the store and they want you to like check all your books before you leave with them to make sure you have the right ones. And even those arrive like flipped. So you take it out. Look, I think it is some like cover protection attempt, right?
But girl, my eye, like, because they were all like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle, and they didn't look like an ad on the back. It just looked like a book.
Right.
I was like,
you're like, has Mary lost her mind?
I was like, oh, she loves the turtles, doesn't she? I didn't know. I was so confused. Yes, it is a nice gift. That's very nice, Mary. Everybody loves Mary.
Well, everybody loves Kristen. That's why we got to get you gifts, you know?
I appreciate it so much. Waiting for the trade. You got to get it, Danny.
Do it.
I feel like we're both also getting the trade.
I am.
I mean, come on. Where is Larry tonight? Is he ordering omnis? He shouldn't be, Dan. That's a great question.
That is a great question. Someone needs to check on him. Let's see if he's ordering.
We should ask.
He might be like setting up a new camera, a new microphone. I don't know.
Maybe.
He's a techie too, you know.
I'm gonna tell him right now. People are asking where Larry is.
And by people, we mean Gore.
Yeah, I was saying by people, we mean Gore. He's like, who's we? Mary and I. We're texting you.
Right.
Yeah. So did you read stuff since the last
I did.
show? Yeah.
Not a lot.
Okay.
But
you got some stuff. I know you finished some things.
I know because you saw.
I saw it happening.
I don't know where to start. I'll start with someone we all know well, Mr. R. Chancellor.
Oh.
I read a for adults only book by R. Chancellor. Some of you have seen it. Sample. You can imagine what this is about. That is a great cover, right?
I think it looks great.
There need to be, maybe the next con he goes to, there needs to be the stickers of this.
Oh. I'll let him know. Actually, he said he's watching, so he heard it.
Oh, yeah. Reed, please, my request. Stickers.
Reed, she wants a sticker of that for some reason.
Come on, can't you see people like hysterically like, oh, I gotta have that, you know?
I mean, that'd be cool to like slap on a guitar or something. Yeah.
I can hear like bro talk, like, bro, dude, man, come on, I gotta get that. I gotta put that on my guitar case, dude.
Yeah.
Anyway, bro, there's a guy I tease at work. And he's like, you are so annoying. Anytime I hear him in the office talking to other guys and I hear like a, hey, man, or any of that, I like quietly walk up behind him. I'm like, hey, buddy, what's going on, man? He's like, you're so annoying.
I love it.
Yeah. So I read Sample. I don't know what took me so long because as I heard Reed talking about it on some other shows, like he's like, it's like 12 pages-ish, right? So I don't know what took me so long. And I can show this lovely drawing I received.
Oh, let me make that solo. Here we go.
Good at.
Yeah. That's a good one.
Always appreciate that. It is adults only. So we'll just say this is Reed's experience. Going to, give one of those. And, I know I have made my comments on shows about like certain kind of adult content, but this this book is so honest, and I bet you a lot of guys can like really relate to it. And like, I can't say I don't know of any other book in existence that covers this topic, right?
Yeah.
So that alone is pretty cool. So you can't, if read, you can't help but laugh as you're reading this, because it's like his true experience, the awkwardness that can go on, the places you're expected to do that. It is comical. So, again, Reed hits it out of the park with being raw and honest, as he always is. So I don't even know if these are still available, but even if they aren't, you need to go check out his store, MV, because if this isn't there, you'll find plenty of other great things. So good job, Reed.
Absolutely. I'm glad you enjoyed it.
I did.
Let's see, we got some chatter going on.
Let's see. I think Larry showed up.
Larry's like a lighthouse with his 4,000 lumens. It's funny. Larry's going to be grandpa. Maybe he's working on taking naps. Someone didn't tell us she was having the stream. Dad, it's every Thursday, unless it's not.
Unless it's not, and we decide last minute, Larry.
And that's when I tell you it's not happening. Hello. The stream was up. Did you not hit the bell? Did you not get notified? What's going on? If you're talking about Beneath the Trees, Danny, you should go for it.
Do it. Do it, Daddy. Buy them.
Yeah, you missed the whole announcement, Dad. What's going on? I knew if we said Larry 3 times, he'll appear. Ooh, how about a tattoo of it, Mary? That's a little hardcore.
Yeah, that's commitment.
It is Reed's face.
Yeah.
Oh boy, stickers will have to happen now. It's every Thursday, Gore. Unless it's not.
Larry, Gore showed up right on time.
Yeah.
Just saying.
No one told Gore.
Yeah.
We just put it on YouTube.
He just knows,
We asked her via text a while ago. She didn't answer. You asked me while I was at an ultrasound.
Larry.
I'm not going to answer you at the ultrasound. And then I had to come home, and I was so busy. I worked late, and then I ate and went on a walk, and then I was here. Just check YouTube.
My community tab. Come on.
Come on. Come on. Tattoo would be hardcore. Danny, you should do it. Get those floppies and that tattoo. Do it. It'd be great. Everyone loves your shirt, Mary.
Thank you. You know why I found this shirt? I don't even know how long I've had it. I started tackling my closet in the bedroom, got rid of 4 bags of clothes for donation, and I was like, oh, I forgot I had this. So
nice.
It's like I should wear it.
That's the best part of clearing out closets, right? Like,
yeah. I know. Yeah. Yeah.
Pregnancy brain or something. That's just rude at this point. Maybe just don't ask questions you can get answers for on YouTube. I don't know.
See, we conjured him, and then this is what we face.
Yeah, I regret it.
No.
Thank you, James. Yeah, check out Reed's store at NV. There's also a link in the description, as well as our baby registry, although I think everyone's over that. But I'm just saying it is there.
I think with baby registries, you get like waves, right? Yeah. I would guess as like you get closer, people are like, oh, I want to get her something. So. Yeah, I think so. My friends that have had kids, that's what typically happens.
Because we're at the point where it's like, well, I'm at least like, oh, what do we have? What do we don't?
Yeah.
Like, I want to make inventory, but it's fine. It'll be fine.
Everything's going to be fine. Yeah.
I mean, there's still books behind me, and those are going to have to go. So.
Well, I did remove one more from behind you.
Just right before the show, too. Thank you for that.
Sure.
Mary's like, I need that Electra.
Yeah, I was like, can you ask Reed to send me that list just in case there's something I might like. So I was looking through, and
I hear it's good. Did I read it? You know I didn't read it. But I hear it's good.
Oh.
All right.
Where are we?
I sort of want to skip the punk rock show tomorrow to watch the roast. Danny, it'll be around.
Yeah, you could.
Watching it live will be fun, though. I do hope some people watch it live. I got the notification. Oh, I was watching something others haven't missed it. Well, how is that my issue? How is that a pregnancy brain issue, Father?
What were you watching, Larry?
Oh, what was so important, Dad? I bet it wasn't. So could you restate your announcement, please? I'm pregnant.
Surprise!
Surprise! We are doing a roast of the Eisners tomorrow, Reed and I. And again, Mary's invited. Mary probably has plans. We'll see. But just letting you know, Mary, I don't want to leave you out.
I think I'm around, but I don't know how much I could contribute to that because I have to say my knowledge is little.
I get it. If you don't want to experience it on camera, we would love to see you in the chat, of course.
I'm guessing I'm going to be in the chat.
Okay, got it.
Thank you, though.
So Reed and I will be roasting the Eisners. Good evening, William.
Hey, William.
Save the shirt. You saved the shirt, Mary, I guess.
I did.
Yeah. I'm not getting a tattoo of Carl's sperm, LOL, or Will. Reed, you hear that? He's calling you Carl. Catherine, hello.
Catherine.
Is Mara around?
She's derbying it up.
Oh.
I really don't know that. I'm just making up stuff.
Oh, back from the library, I see. Yeah, I don't think they've went to the library in a bit. And if they have, I'm upset they haven't showed us their library haul in our group chat. So,
I know. Our group chat's been a little quiet. We need to kick that up again.
Yeah, we do. We really do.
Yeah.
Oh, making the baby and the Godfather matching beanies. Elon, are you just trying to? No. Yeah. Okay, so you showed a book.
Now you show a book.
I'll show a book. In fact, it is a Mary book. Well, it's a book you sent me. I actually don't know if you read this, but I know you sent it to me. So you'll have to tell me. Did you read Long Way Down? I didn't see a review on Goodreads from you.
I don't know.
That doesn't mean anything because sometimes they don't show up.
As you're talking, I'm going to look and check myself if I can even find that myself.
Got it.
I feel like I did. Maybe.
So this is an adaptation of a prose book by Jason Reynolds with some beautiful watercolor art throughout about a boy, I believe he's in middle school. His brother is tragically shot and murdered. So it's a light read. And he has been told since he was young that if this kind of thing happens, which unfortunately it can, he needs to get revenge and kill the person who killed whoever. And that's been the cycle of life within this community. So this horrible thing happens, and then he's like, I got to remember the rules. And one of the rules is I got to grab a gun and do this, right? And he goes to, he thinks he knows who it is. He goes to the apartment building of this person and rides the elevator. I'm not giving away the whole thing. Don't worry. It's just the point is he rides the elevator. And then on each level down, he meets someone in the elevator who is long gone from his life, who is not alive anymore, who talks to him about what he's about to do. It's very intense. And that is what the long way down, because it's the long way down to the level he's getting in the. You sound like you've never read this.
Here's the thing. I'm so confused because as you're showing pictures, as you're talking about it, hang on, I see that too. I was like, I read that, right? And then I saw what James said. I'm like, whoa, I read it and loved it. But when I look on Goodreads, unless maybe I'm looking at a different edition, I don't have it marked as read. But obviously, James found it as read.
5 out of 5. Well, and I didn't see your review of it either. I'm like, James, how do you see it? I didn't see it. I'm so confused.
Yeah, but no. God, Goodreads is banged up because
it is banged up.
I was looking at probably a later edition, and now I do see it as now I see what James. Yeah, 5 stars.
Well, there you go,
Kristen. I love that book.
Oh,
What a great concept.
Chris, I think you should read it. I think you'll enjoy it. I mean, it was rough, of course, but
Yeah.
I thought it was really well done. I really like the art. I think I gave it a 4 out of 5, and that's only because you know how I feel about endings that are so open that bother me. And there's maybe some of that. But I think that was done in a great way, and I understand why it was done.
Right.
But it doesn't stop my personal feelings about wanting to know what happened, right?
For sure.
So, but other than that, and that was just my issue. So I know tons of people love this. I understand. It makes me want to read the novel and see how like fleshed out and different it is.
Yeah.
But I love the visual depictions too. Like it's just the art was incredible throughout this whole thing. And it's super well done. And of course it's like the prose book. I mean, these are just all the like accolades on the back for the prose book and how incredible it's supposed to be. I keep hearing, I've heard about Jason Reynolds for a long time, but I've never read anything from him. But I always hear his stuff so good. So this was awesome. I'm glad you sent this to me. Yeah, and you loved it. You just needed I assume, some shelf space.
You're like, wow, Mary.
You probably were like, I'm never going to read this.
Throw it in the box.
Totally forgot. That's so funny. But yeah, thank you, Mary.
Oh, you're welcome. No problem.
But I did that and it didn't. So it's probably on a different edition for me as well, and you.
Yeah, I don't know. I did find it. I had to hit like show all results, and then I saw, you know.
It's annoying though. Do everyone want to read that? I have a strict rule against sad stuff. I mean, it's sad. So
yeah, it's from what I remember.
That whole concept is rough, absolutely. But I think it's an important one though, and it's good it exists. So yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna bring this one up next because I know you have thoughts. So I've actually like started using. Actually, I think I got an ARC for this and never read it, and I'm just realizing that. So I read this on Hoopla. I read The Cull.
Oh yes. Kelly Thompson.
I was so curious because I know you were like, I kept hearing like mysterious things about this book, and it did. I'm like, I got to read this so I can have my own opinion. And I think I liked it way more than you did. Okay. Maybe. I'm not saying, I don't even remember what you rated it. I'm not saying that you said you hated it or anything, but if I'm remembering correctly, it was the ending and the whole like thing that it says volume 1 on it. But did you hear that this is it?
Well, my copy did not say volume 1 on it.
Oh, mine does.
Okay, so that was my confusion.
Oh,
I was like, if this is it, I mean, that's nonsense.
Okay. I really enjoyed this. It's about 5 friends. They kind of it's sci-fi. Would you call it sci-fi, I guess?
Yeah.
Ish.
Fantasy-ish too. Yeah.
Fantasy-ish. I never know what really.
For sure sci-fi-ish. Yeah.
Unless something has like a dragon and a knight in it, I'm not sure if it's fantasy.
No, I get that though. I'd say it's more sci-fi.
Maybe a castle. Anyway, I don't know where I'm going with this. So these 5 friends go off. I just went into this. I didn't read the back of a book or read a summary, so I'm being a little careful on what I say. But they kind of starts off. I think the premise is like they're going to sneak off to like at 3-4 a.m. in the morning to go film some sort of short film or whatever on this beach area, but it's like very mysterious and has a certain reputation. They're going in search of something or someone, say. And again, I don't really know what the summary on this book is. So they go off, they get into some trouble, ending up in places that they shouldn't be, most likely. And through that, they walk away with more than what they arrived with. Let's say. Kristen, I really don't know what's spoilery or what's not. That's why I sound crazy describing this book.
Well, and I mean, there's like it goes to some wild parts.
Adventures. Yeah, it does. Yeah. But I have to say, the whole time I wanted to know what was going to happen next.
I agree with that. Absolutely.
And I agree with you that if this is it, it does end on you're like, seriously, that was the end. But this does say volume 1, so I'm assuming there's more. I mean, because they like leave you hanging.
I mean, maybe they updated the arc because, like, I read it a while back.
Right,
You know
but remember, I ended up reading mine from Hoopla, though.
Oh,
I got the arc,
okay.
just didn't read it.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I misunderstood that. Well, then that's the issue on the arc, I think, because I swear it did not say that anywhere, and that's why I was like,
Yeah.
well, what the? Even in the title, it was just the cult, and I was like, okay. And I got to the end, and I was so mad about it.
I know.
But yeah, seeing a volume 1 on it, assuming that's real.
How did you feel about the art?
I thought it worked well with what it was.
Yeah, I loved it.
Yeah,
just because it's so realistic looking.
Even with the non-realistic elements, yeah.
Yeah,
I agree.
like, I'm trying to find something I could show. I mean, I know I have a tablet in my hand, so I don't know how well it'll come out, but maybe if I try to get like one of the expressions, because that's what looks so real on these faces, right?
Mm-hmm.
And maybe I could show this. Maybe this will work. See?
Yeah, that looks good.
And the tablet's not even doing it justice. It's much more like crisp. But yeah, that's an example of it. I really enjoyed it. Did I give it? I don't even know what I gave it. Possibly, I think I gave it 4 stars.
And I gave it 3 just for that ending, thinking that was it.
And I get that.
But if it's not it, I mean, yeah, then that's totally different. I mean,
yeah.
And if there's more, I'm gonna read it. Yeah, because I think it did a good job of like certainly keeping you interested. And with that ending, I'm like, okay, what? Let's go.
Yeah.
But if that's it, I'm gonna be mad.
Yeah. There were some parts, I guess I'd say, in the middle that I was like, wait, did they switch writers? Because like all of a sudden, like certain characters, we'll say, were like dropping the MFers and it seemed like out of nowhere. I don't know.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah.
That was the only part that got a little strange for me, but I was able to get over it quickly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally agree. Hello, Nick.
Hey, Nick.
How's it going? I think we're doing pretty good. Danny says, I know it sounds like a broken record at this point, but I really want everybody to read The Oddly Pedestrian Life of Christopher Chaos. I'm stoked for that, per your rec, Danny. So I will be reading that at some point. So I'm glad you read the Cole, though. I like that we're having these weird things in common now. Not weird. It was weird. You know what I mean. One thing we won't have in common, though, is my next trade, which was volume 11 and 12. In fact, 10, which I don't know where I put it, of Battle Royale, which is like, it's like part hot garbage and part I'm really interested in. I want to see the end. You know? That's how I feel about it. I can't say much. This is toward the end of the series, but
you and Maddie are tearing through those.
It's pretty wild. I'm glad though, because I'm gonna sell them off after. Like I need them off my shelf. So
I know, that's awesome.
Yeah. Listen, it's dated. It's ridiculously dated. Every trigger warning of all time, but it's brutal, and I'm interested in everyone who lives at the end. So here we are. That's how I feel.
Ready?
That's all I got. That's all I got for it. You said ready.
Ready? So this next book, I'm not going to say where I bought it because I don't want to. Bottom line is, I don't think it should have been out on the shelf yet because it's not released yet. And I don't want to get my store in trouble.
I think I know where you went.
But again, do publishers, do stores do that? They're like, hey, go ahead, like create some buzz, put this out? Like it's probably planned. Or do you think some 18-year-old was like, I need some part-time work. I'll work there. And they're just like, well, I'll put this box up.
I think there's some of both of that. Because I think about my local bookstore around here. They've done that before, like a week early.
Yeah.
That's something I care about. In fact, Jessica, if you're watching later, when we went there together, she's like, "Oh my gosh, this is supposed to come out in a week." She's so stoked, which I love that. Or maybe it was a few days. Either way, it was early.
It was early, right?
Which is super cool when it's something you're interested in. But yeah, totally breaks street date, and I'm sure a lot of contracts and stuff. So
yeah,
I don't know. It's interesting when that happens.
So anyway, I picked up the new Molly Knox Ostertag. Am I saying that right? Ostertag?
Yeah.
The Deep Dark.
I'm so excited for this.
Ready?
I love how thick it is.
Ready?
Oh, it's so thick. I've been so stoked for this. Oh, what a great spine.
It's really nicely made, I have to say.
You want to show some art while I got it up?
Yeah. There's some color, some black and white.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, it's
I
really
love her work.
And remember, I just read Girl from the Sea, and I didn't love it. This, I gave it 5 stars. I'll tell you right off the bat.
Hey!
Let me find some color.
Did you hear that? Oh, it looks so good.
Yeah, I love this story. So basically, the main character, Mags, we'll call her. Well, that's what they call her in the book for short, for Magdalena. She's in high school. Yeah, she's about to graduate. And this is a story about her family life, sort of like a tradition in her family that she has to stick to. It's like the secret of the family. I won't get into what it is because you don't know. You find out what it is, but it's real kind of creepy. Mystical, not mystical, maybe more fantasy, if I know what that means. So
is there a castle?
There's no castle.
No dragon. But
the secret, maybe knew about castles at some point.
Oh,
maybe.
Okay.
I don't know. So one of my favorite parts of this, though, I mean, yes, there's the mystery of what the big secret is, and it's like what the family tradition is, what Mags has to go through in her life that kind of keeps her feeling stuck in her life, that she has this big responsibility that actually causes her a lot of pain, that she has to be close to home every day. But then separately, she has this amazing relationship with her grandmother, and it just warmed my heart. You're gonna fall in love with the grandma. She's just fantastic. And then there's this book kind of has a little, when people say oh, there's a little bit of everything. There's the family life, there's mystery, there's great representation in it. There's a little romance. Just kind of has a little bit of everything, honestly. But yeah, Kristen, I think you're gonna love this.
So, I'm so excited to read that.
And I'm going to make sure you get a copy. So
thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much.
Let's see. I'm just looking at the back, just to see if there's anything. I don't know what's wrong with me today. I'm so scared to spoil anything. I think because lately when I've been watching YouTube, I'm like, well, damn, I didn't want to know that. Not big spoilers, but.
Yeah, I get what you mean.
A spoiler can be different for
sure, don't tell me too much. I mean, I think you and I have talked about it. I'm like, give me a little sentence or two, and I'm good.
Little something.
I don't need a book report every time. You know what I mean?
Well, that's right. If you read if you go to read a classic, I understand some classics are how old, right? But if you've never read it before, it's new to you. If you read the intro to any classic, spoilers left and right. So I never do that anymore with classics. I think I said enough about this. I think this is definitely, I want to mention that there's some trigger warnings in here that I'm a little shocked. Yeah, I'm there's a title page, and that's it. Then the story begins.
Oh, so there's not actually any. There should be, you're saying.
I don't know. Maybe in the back, but we've had that discussion why you get to put it in the back.
Yeah. Yeah. Who publishes that?
It's
Harper?
Graphics.
Oh, okay.
Scholastic.
Well, you'd think Scholastic would do better too.
That's what I thought, but it's not a major part of the story. But it surprised me a little bit. That's all. And if anybody wants to know what it is, you can message me on Instagram or whatever, and I'll tell you. But yeah, that is what I read this week.
Do you remember how many pages that is?
I'll tell you.
I'm just curious. I love how chunky it is.
It is 470.
Oh, nice. Nice. I was going to guess 500, so.
So close.
Price is Right rules, I would have been wrong.
Oh, yeah.
That's too bad. I've not seen the Battle Royale films. Have you?
Are you asking me or Nick?
You.
Yeah. Oh, I have not.
I assume Nick has, if he's asking. Maybe not. Nick, have you? The page of the house was beautiful.
Right? Yeah, Chris, I think you'd love this book too.
I try to never read any intros due to spoilers.
Right?
It's too often that happens.
Sheesh.
Gotta love a comic with page numbers, increasingly rare.
Uh-oh. Oh, you took a breath. I was like, what's she going to say?
Well, it's true. Well, I was going to say our lovely big three often don't use page numbers, just saying. I've seen the first Battle Royale film. I liked it. I know a lot of people love it. I've just never seen it. Which I'm curious about now. I'm like, how different will it be, you know?
Yeah, maybe when you finish the manga, you can jump in there.
Yeah. So the rest I did not make slides on, and they're digital.
That's okay.
And they're all arcs. There's 4 of them. Let me go through them real quick. Amy's Big Brother was lovely. It was a middle grade graphic novel about, you guessed it, Amy's big brother. Amy is a little girl. She's probably in elementary school, I'd say. And her brother is in middle school. And he's very annoyed by her a lot. He's also adopted, and she came into the family later. His parents gave birth to her. And that causes some, feelings in him too, I think. And that was interesting to see too. I just feel like we don't see that kind of family dynamic a lot. And he basically gets his first crush at school. And then he's trying to navigate that. And it was, listen, I know I just said it's a middle grade. And it was, but it was like oddly deeper than I thought it would be. Like, we really saw the perspective of him navigating his first relationship with a girl. And then you also got to see the girl side of it, where she's just like, she kind of feels like he's love bombing her, and she doesn't, like, she knows he's really sweet and he's like trying really hard, but she doesn't love that. And it's sort of see that dynamic of like him being so like a sweet boy and like doing these sweet things for her, and then her struggling with that, and how her friends react to it, how his friends react to it. It felt like really important to anybody going into their first relationship. Like, I think this, for this particular age group especially, is just really a nice thing to have for, I think, kids that age. It especially teaches like good communication, right? Because there's obviously a point in that relationship. I don't think it would be a spoiler that like it's going to break down in some way, right? Because you're both not on the same level and you're not communicating about it, So there's a point where like they have to figure that out. And it truly is a story of communication, even with Amy and her big brother and him and his love interest. And I really liked it. I thought it was great. I didn't expect like to be reading something that went there.
Right.
So it's really cool. I liked it a lot. So that's that. You said you were done, right? I just want to make sure before I blow through these.
I did, but I realized I think the theme of tonight is my memories off. My memories askew. I might retract my trigger warning thing about the deep dark.
Breaking news.
And flip it over to the cull. Remember?
Yes. Yes, I do.
Okay.
And do I remember that image did not include a trigger warning? Yes, I do. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Yep.
So that's all. I had a retraction.
See, I really disagree with trigger warnings being spoilers.
Gore, there has to be a way that they do it where we get what we would prefer and you get what you prefer, in the sense like it could contain it but not do it in such a way, like whether it be a universal mark that there's going to be a trigger warning on the whatever, right? Like,
What?
I think your dad
Yeah.
had suggested put, like, what if, like, on the back of books they put like a TW next to the barcode, so if someone looks at a book, be like, oh, I know there's going to be one, and then Gore could avoid it, not read it, and then for people like us, I don't know, I just feel
I
like,
just I just think it's not even that deep, right? Like, one, so many publishers are still not doing it. So,
yeah.
you know. But when it's done, it's always been done so well. I never feel like it's a spoiler.
Yeah, it's maybe vague is the wrong word. Any that I've seen. It
They're
just,
like, there's essay, there's R word, right? Like,
yeah.
there's these
And they
things.
just,
They're
that's
not
what they
telling you
say.
who, what, where. It's just like,
Yeah. Or
here's what's
how. Yeah.
happening,
Yeah.
which is really good for people who really can't handle that and need to just see that page and be like, goodbye. Like,
Yeah.
you
Or
know,
even before they buy, like, and especially in the case of somebody's buying something.
yeah,
It's not like, oh, it's a library borrow or whatever.
sure. Uh, yeah, Dad, I think it's a terrible idea.
Hey,
I don't agree with it. I don't know. I don't agree with it. I do
no,
think.
I liked Larry's idea because I like the idea of something being like universal, where, okay, if you're at a store, if they
Oh,
want to scan a book,
sure.
they scan here, and then just
I
like
just
some
don't think it's going to
symbol.
happen. Is the
No,
problem?
I know, but we're talking about, you know,
Oh, in the best of the world,
yeah,
sure.
yeah,
Let's put that on the back so you can check in the front.
yeah,
Yeah, of course.
yeah.
I don't think we only need it at the back though. Like, there has to be an elaboration
Oh,
in the
yeah.
front.
I'm
Yeah,
just
yeah.
saying, like, because we all do this, right? Well, I'm thinking of, if you're in the store, you flip it over and go, you want to see how much it costs.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
No,
So
I'm totally into
I
that.
know
Yeah,
my eyes
absolutely.
going down there, like if I'm in the
Yeah.
store, I don't know.
No, I'm with you there. I misunderstood it.
It's okay.
Who published Deep Dark?
It
Scholastic,
is
right? You said Scholastic?
Scholastic,
Yeah.
yeah. But there's some sassiness. There's some
Sassy.
romantic times in this too.
Oh.
Does Scholastic do that?
I mean,
I mean, and they,
there's probably like an age range though, right? They probably would they put that in the teen section? Like, are they teens? Are they
high
older?
school, high school,
Oh, yeah.
CSE time.
CSE. Nick said the first film was awesome. Remember being blown away by it when I seen it 20 years ago.
Oh wow, I didn't realize
So,
that's when they came out. I thought maybe
yeah,
they
me
were like
neither.
remade.
We read Romeo and Juliet in 7th grade. We didn't know how it would end. A trigger warning would have given the ending away, and we would have been furious. I don't think it would have given anything away, though. You can just say, "Here's a trigger." You don't know what's going to happen with that.
I mean, this could be a case
It's
of,
not going to say multiple, like multiple people unalive themselves in this. Like, it's not, that would be a spoiler, right?
Gore, let me ask you, and you don't have to answer me because it's definitely more on the personal side type of question, but is there anything for you that is like that is a trigger for you? You know what I mean? Because if the answer is no, then that could add to the way that, like, maybe that's why you feel on the stronger side of this on the other opposite side. You know what I mean?
I would say that's the case for my dad.
Really?
Yeah, he's got nothing that he wouldn't read, so
I
it's
got
not
you.
really going to affect him.
I got you.
But I think that's the thing, right? We have to go outside of ourselves to understand how this could affect other people. In
For
fact,
sure.
I even just think like lightly for myself. I say lightly because I could still push through something.
Mm-hmm.
But if there's ever been a cat death in a book, really an animal death, like a
Yeah.
little pet kind
Like
of death.
cruelty, like animal
Yeah.
cruelty. Yeah.
I remember it. I can still remember the moment with the dog and the weatherman.
Yes.
I will never not. I can see that image right now. That's how
Yeah.
much it affected me. In that freaking terrible Catwoman tale book, the young adult DC line, horrific and like a
Wow.
kitten situation. I'll never forget. I can see it like,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
and
Yeah.
it would be my preference to have never have read those things and have that image in my head.
Yeah. I'm the same way on with animals.
Terrible. I need to know. Does the dog die in the end? If so, I'm good. Leave me out of it. I guess we need to establish some specific guidelines. What's there to establish?
I mean, I just this. I mean, maybe for you, Larry, but for us, it's just like this is just like the conversation, like.
Yeah.
Like you had mentioned when I was saying the thing about the bar being in next to the barcode, like, like you said, that would be an ideal world, but we all know like none of that's really happening. This is just sort of like the conversation of how we feel about it, right? Like, how can there be specific guidelines on it when let's be real, it's not really going to be something that happens. Publishers will decide if they want to do it or not, and that's
No, and
it.
every time I run into it, I send Mary a photo, or even the Ramen Besties group chat. I'm like, this is how you do it. This is how you do it. It's so good. It's so well done. Like sometimes it'll be like an introduction from an author I found, and they're like, hey, I want you to take care of yourself. And here are some things that are going to be covered in this book. And if you can handle that, like you need to put this down and not read
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Which is
Yeah.
great because they're just like, yeah, I made
Yeah.
this and I want people to read it, but if it's going to hurt you, don't do it,
Yeah, for sure.
Catherine suggesting QR code. You can scan and find details on a website. I like that.
Catherine!
I like
Look
that,
at
but
you.
you're going to obviously run into people who don't have cell phones who can read QR codes. They still exist. Or, grandma's looking for their like
For little Timmy.
teenager who, she knows he has some mental things that he can't handle. Like, I don't know. I like the idea, but it's certainly better than nothing. And most people do nothing. That's all I know. Gore answered your question. No, there isn't. Even when I was a kid, I didn't mind being upset or shocked by something as long as it's part of the story and added depth to it. Welcome drama and tragedy in films, comics, books.
Okay, that's honest.
I love that. A lot of people can handle it, but I love it. The silliest, seemingly minor things out in the horrible world sometimes set me off. So you wouldn't want warnings for whatever you're talking about? Like, gosh, I don't.
Oh no, maybe he's responding to what I said about because he mentioned setting up guidelines. So he's like, maybe that's why he's saying why maybe guidelines would be good.
Well, I was saying I don't think any warnings would apply for him.
Oh, yeah, okay.
So I do understand warnings, reminders, but for adults, no. See, Gore, I think you're great, but people struggle with a lot of things, and I think that's very interesting. If you have a history of essay in your life, I get why you don't want to see those things depicted in the fiction you're reading to perhaps get your mind off of those things, which can cause triggers to worse issues in your life.
Yeah.
Or trauma to be brought back, etc.
I was going to say too, a lot of times, I'm not going to get into details, but like a lot of times people, myself included, don't deal with parts of their lives until they're adults. It takes a longer time.
Sure.
So, but Gore, I respect you and I appreciate you being so honest. You know what I mean? Like, we're not trying to say you have to think like us or anything, but I do think that's a point too. Sometimes adults don't face things until later in life. So that could be, a situation.
Well, and I think it's as easy to understand as like someone going to war. Anyone with PTSD from anything, which can be a lot of things.
For sure.
Like I said, every trigger warning you can imagine, but specifically, I think like very horrific child abuse. If you can't handle that,
Yeah.
understandably, a lot of people couldn't or had that in their life, or even if you just have a kid and you, like, I know plenty of people who just can't handle any cruelty towards children because of their own children, understandably.
Yeah.
Take care of yourselves. That's kind of it. I don't have a trigger, but there are times when I will stop a book when the use of certain derogatory words get obnoxious. I totally get that too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No, I think warnings could be done in some fair way somehow. Attempts could be made. I agree. That's it. And there's like nothing. I mean, again, when I run into it, I'm like, this is great. Like more of this,
Yeah. Well, I think you hit it on the head. Like when you mentioned earlier, you said something like, well, that's when we have to like not only think about ourselves, like.
I think that's a big thing, right?
Yeah.
And that's why I can appreciate, Gore, what you're saying, because you're listening and no discrimination.
Totally.
I understand. Like that's all I think I'm asking and wanting. And I think just especially when every trigger warning I've read is not from the big three. You know what I mean? And when I felt it's needed the most, it's been some big three stuff. And I'm like, what are y'all doing? Because you should be setting the standard of like, here's what we can do.
Yeah. But I want to say, I know we say it a lot, but that's why I love like the people that come here. I just feel like we always have really good conversations, and there's never like, we all don't agree, and we just have a good conversation. There's no arguing. There's no,
Yeah, that's what it's about. I mean,
I
also,
love
we're
that.
not going to make any sort of progress with anything if you can't really talk about it. We've seen that in politics, right? Like, it's hard. They could do a sticker like the parental advisory stickers some manga have. Yes, some manga do.
Oh, yeah?
That. Yeah. Well, even like the back of Battle Royale, it says mature 18 plus. Thank you for that. It's true.
And then you have books like this that say for adults only.
Right.
That our chancellor, he knows.
He was like, I have to make sure that's there because a kid could pick this up and assume that, I'm like, that makes sense.
This needs to be in shrink wrap if he takes this, if he were to reprint it and put it in, take it to cons. It's got to be in a bag and board.
Yeah, that's true. I think he did bag and board some of them, so that's funny. No, that's a good idea. Well, and I also think about the way, not to keep talking about Reed, but the way he did his big trigger warning in Hardcore Anxiety was at the top of the page before the thing happened. Which was, you're reading along and you're enjoying the story, and then it's like, oh, okay, let's just skip that, right?
Yeah. Go to the next page.
So I've never seen it done like that, and I think it worked well too. So
cool.
I showed a Marvel trigger warning in one of the Peter David Hulk Omni reviews I did. Oddly, that one was, well, I didn't watch all your reviews, Dad. You know why? Why would I watch a review for Volume 3 of an Omni that I may read? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just kidding. I watched some of it, but I don't remember that. Oddly, that one was confusing as to why it's specifically there. What was it for? You're like, go watch the video. Okay. I'm just curious now. Okay. I should probably finish what I read. So.
Oh yeah, I think I derailed things because I.
No, that's. I can go on about it. Another arc I read. I'm looking at my Goodreads. Another arc I read was Tied to You, which was an interesting story about. And this is volume 1. It read like a webtoon, but it's not webtoon. I feel like it maybe was a different site though, so I think it did start as a webcomic. But these guys in high school, they're besties. They've been besties since they were young, and they have a great relationship. But one of them is in love with the other one, and the other one is very straight. So, that's not going to work. And in this world, there is what a lot of people think isn't a real thing, like kind of just a story passed through time, and like it's not real. But it is real. So if you run into your like life partner, person you're supposed to be with, your soulmate, if you run into them in some way, or you make contact with them, or like touch their arm, or like, brush against them in like an elevator or something, if that person is your partner, you'll both grow a red like string of a ring. You know how there's the red string thing that goes around? Yeah, except it's a ring. So, and the only people who can see it are those two people.
Okay.
So you may think, oh, is that going to be his bestie? No, it's his bestie's older brother, though. What happens? Listen.
When you start doing this, I know this is turning hard left.
No, here's the thing. I didn't hate it. I actually enjoyed it. I want to know where the story goes. But at the same time, it was kind of, it was cheesy. And but I oddly enjoyed it. That's all. I don't have much to say about it.
Oh, okay.
It was oddly enjoyable, and I will read volume 2 when it comes out. So we are. The next thing I read was an arc by Art Spiegelman, who did Mouse. And it's called Open Me, I'm a Dog. And there's a dog on the cover. And I was like, what is this? And I didn't know anything. I was just like, okay, it's Art. When's the last time I read something from him? What is this dog? I'm like, okay. So I had to get it. Turns out it's a children's book, which makes sense now.
Okay. Okay.
And you open up the book, and it's literally the dog. So it says, Open Me, I'm a Dog. And the dog starts talking about how he was turned into this book.
Oh, okay.
And he goes through his life and like what happened to him in this magical journey. It was really cute. I liked it. And I was also like, whoa, this is what you're writing now? Like it was kind of wild to me because I didn't know.
Yeah.
So that
Speaking
was
of
fun.
dogs, where's my dog?
Where is your buddy?
Alexander? I don't know. He's busy.
He's got things to do. And the last thing I read, of course.
Oh boy.
That I wish you'd already read, Mary, but I know hopefully you'll get to it soon.
I'm halfway through. I started it.
Okay.
I started it last night.
Do you have a halfway through review before I go on? We are, of course, talking about Houses of the Unholy by Brubaker Phillips, which has not come out yet, but we got arcs of. So I'm curious.
I saw your rating on Goodreads. Yeah. That's why I want you to go first.
Okay. I won't obviously give anything away, but it's set around back when these kids were children. It was a satanic panic situation. There were cults and demons. Well, there weren't cults and demons, but, people were scared, as they were. And these 6 children, the Sinister Six, I believe is what they called them, made up stories about being abused by these demons and terrible other things that these adults did to them and all the stuff, but didn't happen. So they made up all this stuff. And then cut to one of the girls who was within that 6, grown up, living her life, runs into some trouble, and FBI gets involved, and he's like, hey, you're 6 people, like someone's going around murdering them one by one, so like you need to be safe. And that's where it goes from there. I don't want to elaborate anymore. Other than I will so look forward to talking about this with you when you're done. And it is a quick read. It's like 100-something pages. I will say it kept me turning pages to find out what happened.
Mm-hmm.
I do think there is a line of predictability that also occurred. And I don't want to say too much. I don't want to ruin your experience of it or anything. And should I tell you my thoughts on the ending or should I wait? I don't want to ruin that.
As long as it's not spoilery, and I think is the predictability the ending?
No.
Of like the big who?
Because I feel like some of that.
I feel like that's probably a predictable part because I already have a guess.
Yeah, there was definitely some of that, but the actual ending, like how the book ended, hated it.
Okay.
Made me. I literally texted you and was like, I wish I had this physically so I could throw it across the room.
So you were good. It was the ending that really killed it for you. Like you were
I wouldn't say
okay.
I was good.
Okay.
I'd say at the beginning, I was more interested than
Yeah.
the journey it took to get there.
Okay.
Specifically, did you get to the boobs yet?
Oh yeah. I mean, but listen,
I
Brubaker,
rolled
he
my eyes so
loves.
far back in my head.
Yeah. He
Like, I
loves.
was
He loves. The
also that was
boobies.
incredibly predictable and also
Yeah.
gross. Just have to say it, gross.
Well, how women are. They gotta show the boobies.
Well, it wasn't
They
even.
can't control themselves.
I'm like, we've established the age difference here is grody, right?
Mhm.
Like he was like, I was in the academy when I remember you being a child. Like, stop,
I know.
stop
I
it.
know. But we're gonna be told like, oh,
Oh, you didn't get it.
we didn't get it. We didn't understand. But yeah, I'm probably maybe like if we're going percentage wise, I'm probably about 65% done.
Okay.
Um, I am somewhere. It's keeping me interested because of the topic, sort of. I don't hate it. I think I am possibly enjoying it more than you did, but I can with the way a book ends means a lot to me.
Well,
So we'll
and
see.
again,
You know,
I couldn't tell you I was hating it
yeah,
until I got to that end.
but
Yeah. I
the
can
part,
elaborate more, obviously, when you're
yeah,
there.
and this isn't a spoiler either. It goes, past and present, storylines. You go back and forth, and the stuff in the past that I find way more interesting because I think that's a bit more factual.
Yeah,
You know, so
absolutely.
that of course I'm going to be a bit more interested in. But we'll see. We'll see.
Well, and I'll say I read it in a sitting. Again, it kept me interested, but
For sure. For sure. I mean, whenever we talked yesterday, I hadn't even started it. So I was in bed, I couldn't fall asleep. So I was like, let me read a few pages. And I probably read about, I don't know, I probably read about 30 pages. And then I read more on the train today. So
yeah, I'll definitely we'll get into some spoiler talk outside of the show, of course.
yeah, for sure.
But yeah, I'll be curious I mean, it's not that I don't know what everybody's gonna think. Just feel like I'm not on the level a lot of other people are when it comes to them sometimes. But
Sometimes, and maybe it's just of the time, but I feel like no matter, everyone's going to say, yeah, but did you read Reckless? No, I didn't read Reckless. And maybe I should, because that's the one everybody seems to love.
yeah, well, and I love Bad Weekend. That's one of my
So did,
favorites I've
wait,
read.
so
Yeah,
did I.
yeah, I
I
love
loved
Bad
that week.
Weekend. That's great.
But while you were reading this, maybe like I was going to say, I mean, I'm not going to pretend I know exactly the timing of this. Was it the 80s in this one?
That's what it was, the 80s when they were kids, but not in
Okay.
the present day.
But sometimes, like, I can't remember if it was present day or even if it was the 80s. A lot of the writing, maybe it's in my head how I read a lot of Brubaker books. I have like this voice like, see a kid? This is how it was in my day.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that's me. But the writing makes me do that. Sorry. I had to say it.
No, that's funny.
See?
And there was like tons of
See?
narration in this.
Yeah.
And it makes me be like, is that how it normally is? Because it's been a bit since I
I
read
know.
Where the Body Was, for instance. That book. But yeah, I also like, what was someone's gonna correct me. Pulp. I liked Pulp.
Did I read Pulp? That was a really short one, right?
Yeah, the Western.
I think I read that.
I like that one. I mean, I think before Where the Body Was, I didn't start having like major issues with what was happening. I don't know. Here we are.
Here we are.
Here we are. I look forward to your review, Mary.
I'll finish it
And you may
probably.
give it 5 stars at the end. I don't know.
No, I can tell you that.
You're like, no.
But so far I'm enjoying it for the fact, like you mentioned, I want to know what happens, and it's making me read it very quickly, and that's half the battle a lot of times.
Totally. The Brubaker boob book thing really isn't a thing on average anyway. Yes, it is.
Maybe it's becoming. I feel like I haven't read enough, but I feel like any book I pick up, I'm like, well, there they are. The Brubaker boobs.
Dad, literally, I've picked up your book, Fatale. There's boobs on the cover. You open one page, there they are. Like, what do you mean? It's not a thing on average. It's in every book they do.
I'm laughing because
they're like, people are naked now. Let's go. Boobs. What do you mean? The triple B has always been a thing.
I'm laughing because you're like, boobs, Dad.
Yeah, like, what do you mean? I've been to your house and been like, oh yeah, this cover looks cool. Oh, boobs. Boobs. Like, what are you saying? That's what I mean. It's totally not in the majority of them. It is in the majority of them. What are you saying? It is absolutely in the majority of Brubaker books. There are boobs.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's a criticism. They're unnecessary boobs. 100%.
Because they're not like, let's say it too. It's not like they're like, you know, Frazetta boobs or something. These are like,
they're like gross boobs.
and the way they're drawn, it's just like, it just is. I don't know.
Doesn't make you feel nice. Just like in any way. It's just like, oh no. No.
You know, we don't need to get into a whole thing, but some of it's drawn in such a way like, it's drawn in such a way like, oh, you know, women just like, oh, they have to throw themselves at these gross men. Like they just, you know, for me, it's the way they're drawn. And I'm sorry.
Always like these women who could do better. It's like, stop.
Yeah. Maybe it's more, maybe it's not even, well, it is the boobs, but maybe it's not the fact that it's the depiction, like the way
it's all
being
of it.
Written and drawn. Whatever. We keep trying though. No one can say we don't try. Let me tell you, reading takes your time. I don't go into anything wanting to not like it. I need to make that super clear.
Absolutely not.
I want to open Brubaker books and be like, this is freaking great.
Look at this amazing masterpiece. Absolutely.
Because I don't want people thinking like, why do these two keep reading these? They keep ripping them apart. That's not the case.
We loved Bad Weekend. We loved these other ones. Like, let's go, you know? I guess I will have to take boob inventory and report back with numbers. Maybe I'll get that report ready for the Saturday live stream. Sure. I want my money back. I didn't see them in Captain America, X-Men. Well, you wouldn't. We're not talking about Big Two stuff. We're talking about Brubaker Phillips books. And there weren't many in Criminal. See, weren't many. That means there were some. The point is some. We're not saying tons. We're just saying enough where we're like done with it. You know, what are you going to do? I recently read Two Sisters by Matt Kent. I have that. I need to read it. World War II spy thriller. About Ella and Anne's sisters with an alcoholic father unable to deal with wife's death. Elle becomes a spy and Anna follows her heart. It may be in a box. I'm like looking around like, no, I probably boxed it up. That's one I need to read. I enjoy Matt Kent.
That sounds interesting.
I assume you enjoyed it, Gore. You're talking about it. Homebody, A Pros and Cons List for Strong Feelings, and Wildfire were my favorite reads of the week. I've read 2 of those. I loved Homebody. I saw your review, Chris. I agree. And Wildfire was great too. I haven't read the other one. I've seen it. So that makes me want to check it out for sure. Hi, Industry Pets. I keep meaning to reply to you, but Reed said he did. Check out Industry Pets channel. Reed and I did a video on there. We recorded it last year, but it's out now.
Nice.
About Buffy and Willow. So it's very fun. Thanks for saying hey. He's great. I'm going to post about that on the community tab. At some point when I remember, pregnancy brain is real. Dad, I get it. Sorry. That was a cute interview. Thanks, Chris. Yeah, they're cuties. That was the last thing I read, though. So, are you currently reading anything?
Yes. Well, I'm reading.
Look at you.
The Brubaker we were just discussing. I'm reading that.
Yes, of course.
What else do I have going on? I just think I have things that I haven't touched since last week. Yeah, I'm listening to Death by Chocolate Raspberry Scone.
I love when you read these because they just all sound delicious.
That cozy mystery series that I follow by Sarah Graves. I'm listening to the audiobook on Hoopla, and still working on The Incredible Hulk by Peter David, Omnibus Volume 1. And that's it.
Nice.
Yep.
I got 0 things on my currently reading shelf. Can you believe it?
Oh, that's nice.
It's very strange for me. So definitely going to have to pick something up tonight. We'll see. And also thank you, Industry Pets. Congrats on my baby. Our registries are in the description if you feel so inclined. I'm just saying. There are a lot of cute, like, cat children's books that, as I mentioned before, Chris Brogan was lovely and sent some. Oh, I'm obsessed with it. I want, like, all of them. They're all wonderful. And thank you, James, for linking that video. Check it out. I enjoyed it. Matt Kent's Mind Management was excellent. I need to finish reading that. Like, I read 1 volume forever ago, and I liked it, but I never continued.
Yeah, I need to read that. I never read that.
Anyone here hasn't read the latter? Imagine the Nolan brothers doing the Bourne films. Yeah, I liked have you read Department H? I think I read half of it and then got distracted. But I really loved the half I read. I really liked that story. I'm in the middle of Rosalie Lightning, and the story's good, but it's been a tough read. I don't think you would want to read it, Kristen. I've heard what that's about, Chris. I appreciate that because, gosh, speaking of trigger warnings, I thankfully had heard about it. I actually got it somewhere, and I think I heard about it after. Mm-hmm. And when I've been curating books, like this shelf's annihilated over here. This is going to be the nursery at some point, so we're like moving through books. And that was on my shelf, and I was like, there's no way I can read that now. Like,
yeah.
0 way I could read that now. Absolutely. So, yeah. So thanks for that, Chris. Do you like it, Chris, though? Because I hear some people like, it's like you love it or hate it, you know? Chris, you can elaborate. To my knowledge, it's about losing a child.
Oh, wow.
Which is not what I want to read right now. So
no, I don't want you to read that right now.
Just have the time.
Yeah.
As far as what I want to read, I don't know. There's a lot going on. I put a lot of focus last time into like stuff I want to clear off the shelves.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
So I think I'm gonna keep doing that when I can, for sure. How about you? Do you have anything specific in mind?
Well, I just went hog wild on Hoopla because our borrows were ending at the end of this month.
Too. It's a good idea.
And I think I can still borrow 2 more things. Oh, I want to read the new Dracula, Universal Monsters Dracula book by James Tinian.
Yeah, that's fun.
That's fun. I borrowed that on Hoopla. I would like to get to that. Oh, I wanted to ask you, I borrowed this, I was like dipping into Hoopla's manga. Have you read Sota's Knife?
No.
It just says like it's about this guy. He works in a famous restaurant, and he has like a strict boss. I just like cooking, kind of. One day he will make food that reaches people's hearts. I don't know. It just sounded kind of fun, and I like reading like food manga.
Yeah, let me know how that is.
And it has like 1 million volumes, but Hoopla has them all. So I was like, it looks cute, and I'll try it.
Love that. That's one thing I am running into. Like, I'll find a manga series. I'm like, oh my gosh, do you have that? And there's like 1 volume, and I'm like, all right.
Yeah.
I need more than that if I'm gonna dive into it. I will say I haven't checked how many there are of this one, but there was a bunny series that I didn't know existed until I saw it on Hoopla.
What's with you and the bunnies?
Listen, what do you mean what's with me? You're about to get those in the mail. Like, so I'm like, I think I have to read it. Tokyo Pop put these out. There's 3 at least on Hoopla. I'm gonna see how many there are. If there's only 3, then wonderful. Let's go.
Yeah.
And then you and I can read them together, huh? Yeah.
Book club?
A book club. Accidental.
What else did I get? Oh, I borrowed The Nice House in the Lake. I still haven't read that.
Once more comes out, I'll continue. But that 2nd volume is like, get out of here.
I know. I know how you feel about that.
Yeah. I love the first one.
Yeah.
Exactly, Kristen. I'm enjoying it, but I can only read a couple pages at a time without breaking down.
Wow.
Yeah,
See?
that's rough. That's rough. I'm hungry again when you reshow those bunnies. Oh, gore.
Gore's gonna have bunny stew.
Um, Mary, remind me, are you the one
Yes.
that hates SpongeBob?
I don't hate SpongeBob.
Mm,
I'm probably not in the age bracket to enjoy SpongeBob. I don't hate
sure.
him.
Okay. For some reason, I was like, does Mary hate SpongeBob like she does Schitt's Creek?
Oh my
Not that she
gosh.
hates Schitt's Creek, just, Well, anyway, I ask because may I just share a little baby haul that I have
Oh,
for
please.
fun? I don't know if
Please.
any of y'all will care, but there was a box lunch situation that we stumbled upon and I couldn't handle it. Reed and I, so SpongeBob came out in the 90s when
Yeah.
we were primed for SpongeBob, right? So
Yeah.
we love a good SpongeBob situation. And there were these bibs on
Those
box
are cute.
lunch that were just so cute. We couldn't handle it. Look at him being a baby.
That's cute.
So, and then they're all babies.
That's very cute.
So couldn't handle this, had to get it. And also, again, for my youth, Rugrats. Come on.
Oh,
I'm
those are cute.
so excited to see
This is
Rugrats
this is all
bibs.
comic related.
Yeah, yeah.
It is.
Listen, there are Rugrats comics, and they're great, and SpongeBob ones,
That's
actually.
what I'm saying.
So, just got some bits. Drooly babies. That's what they do. I agree, Dad. There you go.
Well, they
And
do for
Dad knows.
me because I miss them.
Mary hates Schitt's Creek and SpongeBob SquarePants. We're just making up rumors now about you, Mary.
I can
You
handle it. I can handle it.
Uh, anyway, that's my little baby haul.
Very
Um,
cute.
yeah, I think that's it. That's all I got.
Nice. Yeah, I ran out of stuff too, but
Well, hey, we read more than we thought we would because I know the other day we were just like, we haven't read anything.
yeah, I was like, Kristen, I read 2 things. At least I came here with 3 things.
And I was like, I can't believe I read nothing. And then suddenly I've read
I love
several
it.
things. Yeah. Oh, Catherine. Thank you. Catherine never
Catherine,
answered where Mara is. Should we be concerned?
I was about to say, where's Mara?
What's going on? I mean, Catherine, we love that you're here.
You know what we do? I think we have a tendency when Mara's here and Catherine doesn't speak up and say, we're like, where's Catherine?
Right. We want both of them.
Right. We're greedy.
We need them both here. If I didn't have a kid at the right age, at the right time, I would probably miss SpongeBob too, and Rugrats and Hey Arnold. Yeah, all the good stuff.
Yeah. See,
Mary was right. That's funny. All right. Well, thanks everyone for joining us. She's derbying. Okay, so
derbying.
You did it.
I know these things.
All right. Yeah. Well, hey, if Catherine, if they are live streaming the Derby, we do want to see that at some point. So make sure Mara tells us about that.
Please.
We can promote it even if you'd like.
For sure.
I feel like somebody's gonna, care about that meatball. So we do. Okay. I think that's it. That's the show. Thank you again, Mary, for being so sweet and making me so excited. I'm so stoked to read these.
You are welcome. I'm excited for you to read those.
Yeah, we'll talk about it for sure. And hopefully next time I'll talk about that. Maybe you'll talk about the Brubaker book. We'll get all of the feelings out. It'll be great. And again, tomorrow, Reed and I will be roasting the Eisners. There's no better way to put it. That's just what's going to happen. So if you want to bring your thoughts and opinions, all of them, we are, as you know, we like to talk. We're open to whatever. If you're like, I hate this person, I love this person, great. We want to hear about it. Totally. So that'll be 7 Eastern, 8 p.m. Central. Well, the other way. It's the other way. 7 Central, 8 p.m. Eastern. Tomorrow, we'll have it to stream up at some point tonight, maybe. We'll be there, though. It's going to be great. Check it out. And my dad's promoting his own channel where Saturday morning I'll be on his channel live 3 days in a row, starting with the show. You're right. I'm like, yes.
Nice.
Got it. Oh, A friend who teaches elementary school called her second graders Rugrats. The kids didn't know the cartoon. They accused her of calling them brats. She had to enlighten them before she got in trouble.
Oh, jeez.
Oh man, that's funny. They are Rugrats.
They were rats.
Yeah. Good seeing you, Gore. Thanks for bringing your thoughts and opinions. We love it.
Yes, always good to see you.
She officially starts in the fall, and I think they do. We're stoked. We're going to check it
Nice.
out. And good night, Danny and Chris.
Good night, guys.
And yeah, Danny, we look forward to seeing you if you do stay home. No worries if not. And if you're watching this later, let us know what you're reading and check out the links in the description. Okay. Bye, guys.